what we do is, now see, as I said, your RSI is a mirror image of your price chart. And what do we do on the price chart? We form our support and resistance levels. So I am saying, in a similar fashion, you can draw your support and resistance levels on your RSI as well. Let me give you examples. Nifty. Let's come to the 5-minute chart. Now over here I've plotted certain levels. How do you plot these levels? These keep changing with time. In the first place, these keep changing with time, and you have to update it every now and then. Okay? But I'll give you approximate ranges. एक आपको level 60 के आसपास मिलेगा. One resistance support level you'll find it around 60. One support resistance you'll find it around 40, and one would be anywhere around 50. So let's see how do we trade this. पहले तो मैं बैंक निफ्टी वाला जो last time आप लोग को example सिखाया था, let me come to that, then I'll come to this. Was April last year, right? If I'm not mistaken, that example was on April last year. Yeah. So now what is happening is, we discussed last time market structure, and what did we speak about? Whenever market is forming that lower high, that is where we are going short, right? But now the question came up to our minds, how do we find that exact lower high? So what are we observing over here? Let me just rearrange the RSI for that time. What is happening? Markets are correcting. Market formed that lower high exactly where the RSI is taking rest. Markets corrected. Formed that lower high exactly where the RSI is taking rest. Market corrected. Again came back up. Again took resistance exactly at its RSI. So are you all trying to understand what is happening? Market is forming that lower high. Even over here you see this is also a lower high. So market is forming that lower high. थोड़ा सा neatly बना देता हूँ. Like this. How are we identifying the high? Is it taking resistance at the RSI? If it is, then that becomes an additional confirmation. If it is taking resistance, it becomes an additional confirmation. And that is where I can precisely go short. Because sometimes what will happen is, you might see this is also high. यहाँ पे precisely entry मिल रही है, resistance मिल रहा है. But यहाँ पे भी तो highs बन रहे हैं. Himalaya, why aren't we going short over here? Because my RSI is not matching with my price chart. I'm not getting a resistance level on my RSI. So I will avoid it. But as soon as it is matching with my RSI ka resistance, I can go short. When in a lower high, lower low structure. Similarly, in a higher high, higher low structure, what will happen? One level will time and again take support. Let me show you an example. So over here you can see how many times RSI has been respecting the levels. अभी थोड़ा सा level change हो गया currently. Like in this case, market is forming that lower high. RSI is again and again taking resistance at that level. As it अभी current market में थोड़ा सा नीचे आ गया वापस. Market is taking resistance exactly where the RSI is taking resistance. Market is taking resistance, not this one. Market is taking resistance exactly where the RSI is taking resistance. So now you know that this is a lower high, lower low structure. Alright. So the first thing that is coming to your mind as per strategy is what? What do you have to do? Do you have to buy the dip or do you have to sell the rise? Sell the rise. Now how do I find that rise? Wait for that RSI to come up to a resistance level. See that price action over there. कोई price action मिल रहा है तो short कर लो. If it's matching, only then short. If let's say there's no resistance level over here, like in this case, यहाँ पे कोई resistance level था नहीं particularly, so I will avoid taking a short over here. And this works precisely. Current market थोड़ा सा haywire हो गया, but otherwise this works precisely. Let me show you examples. on Nifty 5 minute also. So this is my intraday setup, Nifty 5 minute chart. Few days ago there was a very good example. Now in this case, this is something that we had already discussed, 27 April. I told you that market was forming a lower high, lower low. Can you all see and clearly observe that whenever that market is forming that lower high, it has exactly taken resistance at its RSI. So can I go short? Tell me, can I go short? Yes, I can. Similarly, if it was a bull market, time and again it will take support, either from the first level or the second level. So what I'm trying to explain is, form your support and resistance level, maximum of 3 levels only. If you're plotting your levels on RSI, maximum of 3 levels only, and the major 2 levels would be anywhere around 40 and 60. Okay? After that, what you have to do is, it's not that if it's coming at this level, you immediately go short blindly. No. What you need to understand first is the market structure. Market is in a lower high, lower low structure. First, that is the point. Secondly, if it's coming up to that level, now you have to be alert. As I said, an indicator is not a signal to immediately go short, it is just an alert. It generated an alert that it is near its resistance level. Now wait for the price action confirmation. Inside candle setup ban raha hai, ya bearish engulfing ban rahi hai, whatever the case be, I can go short immediately. The way I take entries in an intraday is, if I know that it is a lower high, lower low structure, if I see that it is near my resistance level, what I will do is let that pullback come in. First red candle followed by the second red candle, where the second red candle is breaking the low of the previous red candle. As soon as it is breaking the low of the previous red candle, I will take a short. Let me show you more examples.
Himalay, in this only one question. ये RSI तो बाद में बनाया, so how you have drawn the line?
The support level.
Support. Okay.
Right, the
support level.
It's the same way you plot your support and resistance on your price chart. यहाँ पे पीछे देखो, it has tested this level multiple times. Resistance, support. So this level becomes a major level.
Again, इसमें हिमालय again confusion होता है, इससे थोड़ा सा नीचे क्यों नहीं बनाया या इधर क्यों बनाया?
Plus minus थोड़ा बहुत चलता है.
Okay.
You don't have to be precisely. वहाँ पे बस आपको एक estimate होता है कि this is the level over there, and probably markets will take a resistance. Now again in this case, this level has been plotted for this example over here. ठीक है? But scroll back over here. What do you see? RSI has again taken resistance. Again, market has exactly taken a high over there. Precision. यहाँ पे support लिया exactly. तो यहाँ पे support level हो गया. If I just scroll up a little, market ने कुछ support लिया होगा यहाँ पे. Exact low यहाँ पे बना है.
Okay.
But you need to combine it with the market structure.
On which time frame do you draw the support levels? Is it the same across all of them?
See, more or less it might be a little same, might vary also a little. So intraday का आप generally थोड़ा अलग रखो, bigger time frames का थोड़ा अलग रखो.
So intraday का आप कौन सा time frame में draw करते हो?
5 minute पे.
Okay भैया.
So like in this case, seeing something over here, let me look at the price chart. Market is forming that higher high, higher low structure. Higher high, higher low. So RSI also you can see it has time and again taken support over here. So I'll go long over there, wherever my RSI is forming support. Over here, consolidating market. Now this is a little different. Now for the Santiago batch, listen to this carefully. Now this is a concept of RSI cool-off. This is not an official strategy out there. This is just a term that I have given to this concept. Now this is known as an RSI cool-off. इसमें क्या हो रहा है? Market is within a range. Listen to me carefully. Market is within a range, but for the same period, RSI is cooling off. What you need to do is, you need to be prepared for that lower support level. वहाँ पे कोई एक price action confirmation मिल गया immediately go long if it's a scenario this way. Agar ulta hota, if it's consolidating and RSI is coming from its this way, then you would have prepared to go short. So this is known as your RSI cool off. What is happening in this case? Markets were in a bull trend, higher high, higher low. Markets were in a bull trend. After that, markets are resting. Markets are now in its resting period. So what is RSI doing in the meantime is RSI is cooling off. क्योंकि अगर RSI ऊपर ही होता, then what would have happened? RSI would have soon touched 90 and we would have never gotten markets on a new higher levels. So now what is happening in this case is markets are consolidating. In the mean period or in the meantime, RSI is cooling off. The strength of the buyers is cooling off. They are taking rest. As soon as it came to a major support level, you can see it came to a major support level, you can think of going long.
So on the contrary, ये नहीं हुआ कि RSI यानी कि buyer strength कम दिखाई दे रही है तो we should
No.
exit also.
No. This is again a cool off concept. It is, देखो अगर गिरना होता मार्केट को तो market would have immediately fallen. It wouldn't have waited away. Because buyers have gotten the opportunity. Now when it's the seller's opportunity, they are waiting a lot. So what is happening over here? It attempted to break down, false breakdown, but in the same period, what is RSI doing? It came down, cooled off, took support, and RSI shot from, or markets reversed from there. Huge returns from it. That is why in this phase I was super bullish, for those who remember.
और इस
We
केस में
can-
अगर प्राइस
we can
एक्शन
also-
हमारा और हायर जाना होता और RSI कूल ऑफ हो रहा होता तो यानी कि और पॉजिटिव है.
No, if prices are going higher and RSI is cooling off, then that's a divergence. That's not a cool off.
Okay.
We can also see this higher low in the RSI, so we can take aggressive entries like that hammer जहाँ पे वो नीचे गया था मार्केट फिर ऊपर आ गया था तो हम एंट्री वहाँ पे ले सकते क्या RSI में भी हायर हाई बन रहा था.
Yes, you can take an entry. थोड़ा सा रिस्की एंट्री है बट यू कैन टेक. बट आपका एसएल एकदम हैमर के नीचे, तो रिस्क टू रिवॉर्ड रेशियो वाइज इट्स द बेस्ट एंट्री.
ओके.
Risk is that अगर इसका confirmation आया नहीं, बस that's about it. Let me show you one more example of RSI cool off. Deepak Nitrate. This is a trade we all have taken. This is a trade you all can search on Telegram also. Deepak Nitrate. I've explained this concept of RSI cool off over there as well. What is happening? Markets were in a range, or Deepak Nitrate particularly was in a range, and for that same given period, what happened? RSI cooled off. यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो एक लेवल बन रहा है, plot that level, and from there, precisely from that level, what has happened? Markets have shot up, or Deepak Nitrate has shot up. So this is your concept of RSI cool off. It is different from your moderate positive or moderate negative divergence. Try to understand. Distinguishing between the two is also a little difficult. आपको initially काफी practice करना पड़ेगा to understand how to distinguish between a moderate negative divergence and a cool off. The key over there is in a moderate negative divergence, what will happen is you will get some sort of a price action confirmation and the lows of the consolidation need to break. But in case of an RSI cool off, the lows will stay intact. Maybe with a few false breakdowns or breakouts, whatever the case. Again, over here it's come to a major support level, RSI support level. I'm not talking about price support level. So over here, what you need to do is, if let's say the market sentiment also becomes bullish, which clearly it is not. So if let's say the market sentiment becomes bullish and you see that there is some sort of a resistance turn support level over here, यहाँ पे कोई अगर price action बनता है, then you can immediately go long. Is this point clear? Let me show you more examples. Nifty, Bank Nifty में. Let me see Bank Nifty also. So this is again an example over here. Markets were forming that higher high, higher low. Where do we take an entry? Every time RSI is coming to the support level, you can buy. Every time RSI is coming to the support level, you can buy. अब यहाँ पे क्या हुआ है? First support level break हुआ है, second support level break हुआ है, but it's taken support from the third support level. इसमें if you clearly see थोड़ा सा हमारा level ऊपर है यहाँ पे. Resistance, turn support, turn support. Again after this day it changed. After 29 April again it came down. तो plus minus थोड़ा बहुत होता रहता है. As I said, you need to keep updating, especially on your 5-minute chart.
So Himalaya, in this case again RSI हम इसे cool off जो आप example दिखा रहे थे और prices were going up. So
that is not a cool off. That is not a cool off. That is again and again it's almost like a market structure. It's forming that higher low. When you're taking entry at the higher low, bus.
Himalaya, one more thing, we can find RSI cool off in market when the market is consolidating at that time only, or if the market is falling, and we can assume that RSI is getting
The
cool off.
consolidate होता है only during consolidation.
Okay.
Now tell me one more thing. अच्छा, 1 second. Tell me one more thing. I just spotted an example. Markets opened. This is what day? 2nd May. ठीक है? 2nd May को markets were doing its own thing. After that, markets have become sideways. So for the same period, if you look at the RSI was also in a range. So if you are getting some sort of a price action within this range, don't take a trade till the time your RSI breaks out. RSI breakout हुआ, उसके बाद देखो आपके support resistance levels. Are you all getting the concept? Again,
Himalaya, can we just see the previous example?
1 second.
तो हिमालय आप ये कह रहे हो कि बेसिकली प्राइस एक्शन को देख के उस हिसाब से आरएसआई को बेसिकली वी हैव टू डिसाइड कि वी हैव टू यूज दिस दैट स्पेसिफिक लेवल एज अ सपोर्ट और अ रेजिस्टेंस. फॉर एग्जांपल निफ्टी में जैसे सॉरी बैंक निफ्टी में लोअर हाई लोअर लो स्ट्रक्चर बन रहा है, तो देन उस केस में हम रेजिस्टेंस को फाइंड आउट करेंगे आरएसआई
Yes.
इंस्टेड ऑफ सपोर्ट, क्योंकि ऑब्वियसली फॉलिंग मार्केट में रेजिस्टेंस काम आते हैं सपोर्ट.
फॉलिंग मार्केट में रेजिस्टेंस शॉर्ट करने के लिए सपोर्ट फॉर रिवर्सल्स. ऐसे नहीं कि सपोर्ट नहीं काम. Over here also, if you see, the same thing has happened. Market is forming a lower high, lower low. I'm showing you a bigger picture थोड़ा सा. This is 4th May. So what has happened? Where do I go short? I don't know. तो यहाँ पे you can see market came down, took support at the support level, came up. अब यहाँ पे मेरा short entry बन गई. I can go short over here. Again markets came down, went up, exactly took resistance at what? My RSI level. Yes, Nitika जी आप बता रहे थे.
Yeah, in the previous example, Himalaya, इससे पहले जो आप दिखा रहे थे, price actions were going high, but RSI में उतना हाई नहीं जा रहा था, तो हम ये नहीं मानेंगे अगेन कि बायर्स का स्ट्रेंथ कम हो रहा है.
It's a divergence. Higher high, but for the same period, market had formed a lower high. So it's a divergence. And after that, corrected. अब हिमालय पूरा complete reversal क्यों नहीं आया? Remember, we are on a 5-minute time frame. So we'll trade according to that. So if you see for a 5-minute, it came up to a major support level. 1% correction came up to some sort of a support level over here. Let me show you. अभी तो थोड़ा सा market choppy हो गई है.
Last example you told will be considered as a strong negative divergence.
Yeah.
But it is in like bull market. अच्छा, negative divergence will be in bull market. Okay, thank you.
अभी तो थोड़ी market choppy हो रखी है, so it is more difficult for you all to understand. For me, it's the same thing. See, it's the same level over here. RSI is again and again taking resistance at the same level. I have to just take a short over there. Bus. Over here, markets were consolidating. RSI is going up. So this is more or less like a cool off. But यहाँ पे cool off क्यों नहीं work किया? Remember, because this is a day chart support level. ये जो मैंने yellow barrier बनाया है, this is a day support level. So I can't just simply go short over there. So that you need to understand. So first, always make your support resistance levels on a bigger time frame, your day chart. I'm not talking about the RSI. उसके बाद 5 minute पे आओ. After that, if I come to my 5 minute, that is why we did not trade the RSI cool off over there. I hope you all are understanding the difference. Because this is a major day chart support level, that is why I cannot trade this RSI cool off over here. That markets were in a sideways direction, RSI is going up, technically short बनता है, but यहाँ पे क्योंकि day chart support level था, I cannot go short over here. That is the difference. Again, same thing over here. Market is in a lower high, lower low structure. RSI is again and again taking resistance. So you now know how to identify that top, and you can take a short over there. Or to the contrary, if it's a bull market, you can find a support and go long as well. मैं एक चार्ट क्लियर करके और बेटर बनाते हैं. Cluttered a lot. How do you plot your levels? All you need to do is zoom out a little. पहले तो आप हमेशा अगर करंट मार्केट का देख रहे हो तो हमेशा पहले करंट मार्केट पे आओ. Zoom out a little. And यहाँ पे क्या दिख रहा है? I observe एक यहाँ पे टॉप बना है, वहीं पे बॉटम बना है, वहीं पे टॉप बना है, वहीं पे. This is probably one of my levels. All I need to do is mark. बस. So this becomes one of my levels. Around 40 matches aligns. एक 60 के आसपास देखेंगे. 60 के आसपास एक ये टॉप लग रहा है कि इम्पोर्टेंट है, बट यहाँ पे इतने कोई मेजर लेवल्स नहीं दिख रहे, तो आई विल गो फॉर दिस टॉप. यहाँ पे कुछ लग रहा है तो ओवर हियर आई विल प्लॉट माय लेवल. ठीक है, उसमें रेजिस्टेंस 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 मल्टीपल रेजिस्टेंस लेवल्स एंड एक बीच में ढूंढेंगे. यहाँ पे लग रहा है कोई सपोर्ट बार बार बन रहा है तो यहाँ पे एक लेवल बना. बस 3 लेवल्स डन. तो अराउंड में 62 एक हो गया, 54 एक हो गया, 40 के आसपास हो गया. इफ यू लुक एट इट, मार्केट्स were in a range, markets were in a range. Over here if you see, markets were in a range. So was the RSI also in a range. Cannot take a trade. Below 40 जब जाएगा, market will become into a lower high, lower low structure. That is what is happening. Every time it comes to this 40 level, I will go short. In this case, as I said, choppy market. I think this is a new day also, if I'm not mistaken. Not a new day.
RSI की उसकी policy
Today 4th May है. This is that RBI announcement वाला time. ठीक है. This is the RBI announcement. RBI announcement happened, but despite that, you can see RSI almost took resistance at a particular given level. But वो market structure ruin हो गया just because of the announcement.
So what I thought was middle level 50 रहता है, but middle level भी जैसे इसमें
That is
variable
like
है.
basic. जो भी आपको कह रहा है middle level 50 है, above 50 it is buyers market, below 50 it is sellers market. That's wrong.
Okay.
मतलब it's not. I won't say it's wrong, but it's a very basic beginner level thing. This is the actual thing. If you follow this, अभी तो market थोड़ी choppy हो रखी है. To follow this precisely, it works. यहाँ पे देखो थोड़ा सा level ऊपर आ जाता है. You can see time and again RSI is taking resistance. वहाँ पे आप top ढूंढ लो. This would be a declining market. You can see declining market, lower high, lower low structure. Where do I find that exact top? Declining market, markets forming that lower high, lower low structure. Where do I form that top? Precisely working. Now what we will be doing tomorrow is we'll be adding just one more element to this to make it even more sound. Already we have started identifying that exact top कहाँ करना है short, right? वो यहाँ पे भी top था, यहाँ पे भी कर सकते थे, यहाँ पे भी top बना, यहाँ पे भी कर सकते थे. But sometimes there will be tops where RSI is not taking resistance. We will not short over there. And to make it even more precise, what we will start doing is we will start forming our Fibonacci levels that we learn tomorrow. तो यहाँ पे आप देखो exact मेरे 61.8 लेवल से करेक्शन आई है, शूटिंग स्टार बनी है, वी कैन गो शॉर्ट. RSI is also taking a resistance. After that, again what is happening? Again, if I form my Fibonacci level, swing high to swing low, 50% RSI is taking resistance, I can go short. So are you all understanding what we are doing? And this is random, I don't even know the date, 4th February, 3rd February. This is very random selection I've done, and you can see how precisely it is working. So if you add Fibonacci to the RSI and you combine it with your market structure, you know where exactly you have to go short. After that, there would be a situation. This looks like a divergence यहाँ पे लग रहा है, हो सकता है. Divergence sort of a situation. बड़ी 5-minute chart पे था. So market is forming a lower low, but for the same period, RSI has formed a higher low. Market went up, but exactly took resistance where my previous high and RSI is also taking resistance. It did not break that high. So एक बार मैं यहाँ पे profit booking कर लूँगा. After that, I would expect the market to form a higher low, but that did not happen in this case on 7th of February. Generally, it will form, get into a higher high, higher low structure. But let's not forget, this is your 5-minute chart. Day chart पे होता, there was a higher likely chance it could have done.
वाले इंट्राडे पे वैसे डाइवर्जेंस देखने के लिए वी शुड यूज 15 मिनट चार्ट ना इंस्टेड ऑफ 5 मिनट, क्योंकि 5 मिनट में फिर टेकआउट भी मिल सकता है.
यूजुअली होता नहीं है, ये अभी मार्केट थोड़ी खराब हो रखी है बस. यूजुअली होता नहीं है. 5 मिनट्स डाइवर्जेंस वर्क ब्यूटीफुल. if you थोड़ा सा बैक टेस्ट करो आप अभिनव, you only put it on the group today after back testing or whenever you get it, you will see when the markets were in a normal condition, even the 5-minute divergences are working beautiful. यहाँ पे भी देखो, moderate positive divergence, markets reversed.
Okay, thanks.
15 मिनट पे भी कर सकते हो, but entries थोड़ी सी late हो जाती है. That's why I don't prefer 15 minutes. The thing is, entries become little late. Time and again, market is taking resistance. Same RSI is also taking resistance. I can go short, I can go short, I can go short. In this, I'm explaining it to you guys in a very raw manner. Raw in a sense, मैंने अभी तक अपने price chart पे support resistance draw नहीं किया. Just imagine if I add my price chart पे support and resistance, it will become even more precise. कहाँ पे entry लेना है, कहाँ पे नहीं लेना. So that is how RSI works. Again, I can give you the reference. The same video that I shared last time after the market structure. If you look at that again, I have explained it. Market structure, lower high, lower low. RSI is exactly taking resistance despite market forming that lower high. And after that, we saw a positive divergence. दिखा देता हूँ इनका वापस से ये लोग time में April last year. So over here you can see market was in its lower high, lower low structure. ठीक है. Exact top पे we were shorting. Whenever we getting an opportunity, we were shorting. Now finally, what had happened? Finally over here, market had formed what? A higher low. Sorry, market had formed a lower low, but your RSI had formed what? A higher low. Divergence. Okay, market went up for the last time, came down for the last time. So tell me, just before that there was a divergence. So now what is the probability of market forming a lower low? Is it high or is it low? What I am asking is, market formed a lower low over here. Market formed a lower low, RSI formed a higher low. So there is a clear case of positive divergence. So positive divergence के बाद, will the market form a lower low? The probability is very low. That is what the market has done. Market did not form a lower low, it rather ended up forming a higher low, and from there, market structure reversed completely.
So we can actually take a trade at the third low itself only after the divergence was formed.
That is what I am saying. You can take a trade over here itself.
And carry it for 2-3 days.
Wait for the break of the trend line. यहाँ से we are exactly capturing the bottom. Round number levels, 30,500, round number, hammer followed by confirmation, पॉजिटिव डाइवर्जेंस के बाद हो रहा है.
मल्टीपल कंफर्मेशंस मिल गए.
You can go long from here and you can go long. If you go long, just look at the points you're capturing from here.
3 to 4,000 points in
पूरा
Bank
आपने
Nifty.
कैप्चर कर लिया 3-4,000 points ऐसे ही आ गए. I was talking about DXY today.
हाँ वो बता रहे थे कुछ DXY के बारे में बताना था आपको चैट में.
Himalaya, I'm confused with like which strategy to use at
तीनों को combine.
which time frame.
तीनों को combine करो. Never use the strategies single-handed. First strategy थोड़ी avoid कर सकते हो that RSI re-entry वाली. ठीक है? In this case you can see what is happening. RSI is re-entering but markets are showing you confirmation but market did not correct. Why? Because this is a major resistance level which broke and it is now a retest level. The first strategy जो आप use कर रहे हो थोड़ी सी कम use कर सकते हो. That is not a problem. But divergence can use it extensively. Third can use it extensively. Now over here, one second. Now over here, this
At all
is
time frames.
open-ended divergence. Any time frame. Over here, I call this as an open-ended divergence. Now tell me one thing. Why am I calling it as an open-ended? Is because यहाँ पे लग रहा है market is forming that higher high. Market is forming that higher high, but for the same period, RSI is forming a lower high. But एक चीज मेरे को बताओ. Has the RSI yet formed a peak? Peak बनाया है या top बनाया है हम RSI ने?
नहीं.
नहीं. So we cannot consider this as a divergence yet. It is just an open-ended divergence, which means there is a possibility that RSI will form a divergence over here. अगर बन जाता है, fair enough, DXY will start reversing. नहीं बनाता है, what will happen is this will adjust itself and form that higher high. So don't consider this as your divergence. This is not your divergence. This is just open-ended. यहाँ पे वो टॉप बनानी है. जब वो टॉप बनेगा एंड अगर मार्केट ने ऐसे सिचुएशन बनाई है हायर हाई एंड देन इफ इट्स गिविंग यू अ लोअर हाई ओनली देन यू विल लुक फॉर अ प्राइस एक्शन कंफर्मेशन एल्स नॉट एल्स इट्स एन ओपन एंडेड यू हैव टू कीप इट ओपन एंडेड. अभी इनफैक्ट इफ आई रीड इट इन अनदर वे अराउंड इट इज व्हाट अ बुल मार्केट टाइम एंड अगेन टेकिंग सपोर्ट फ्रॉम योर RSI. तो आपको एग्जैक्ट बॉटम मिल रहा है टू गो लॉन्ग इन द मार्केट. आपको एग्जैक्ट बॉटम मिल रहा है टू गो लॉन्ग इन द मार्केट. टारगेट क्या होगा? टारगेट कैन बी माय 80 लेवल ओवर हियर. दिस इज अ रेजिस्टेंस लेवल ओवर हियर. दैट कुड बी माय टारगेट. इधर दैट वे. और अगर आप प्राइस चार्ट पे देख लो अगर कोई टारगेट है, प्राइस चार्ट पे नहीं दिखा रहा है कोई टारगेट, देन वी कैन वेट. यहाँ पे देखो why is there a potential divergence is because यहाँ पे एक level है. Market earlier in January 17 had corrected from that level. Again, dollar index is around those levels only. That is why it is attempting to form a potential divergence. अगर वो form हो गया, well and good. Market DXY will reverse. Positive for our Indian economy also. नहीं होता है, then it will breach the levels. New levels will be formed. As simple as that. I'll show you one more example. एक अच्छा इंटरेस्टिंग याद आया मुझे. The 21st December fall last year 2021 में. So again this is a video I specifically posted. Now this is a one-off case. 21 December. All right. Now over here what was happening is market was in an extreme bull rally. And we all were confused कि अब reversal कब आएगा. ठीक है, at that given point in time, let's just look at the charts in this way. I don't want you all to see what has happened after that. So it was something like this. Now what was happening is what I observed over here, just the day before the correction. So the market was looking like this. I think it was a weekend over here. It was a weekend. This was 18th December, and after that, the next trading session was on 21st of December. Now here you can see it is one single shot rally on the upside. Confusion is there near 14,000 levels. Taken not too many points away. काफी confusion था कि अब करना क्या है. RSI picture is looking like this. What I saw on Nifty was the value of RSI. यहाँ पे लिखा आ जाता है. So if I just take the cursor over here, the value of RSI is 81.22. So I thought, when was the last time Nifty breached the 80 mark on RSI? Remember what is 80? 80 is extremely overbought condition. So this is a rare situation on Nifty. So that is why I thought, why not go and see when the last time Nifty breached the 80 mark. And I was surprised to see that last time when Nifty breached the 80 mark was, I think it was January 2018, and before that was in 2014. So it is pretty evident that this is a rare situation, and that is how history repeated itself. So ये बहुत अच्छा example है. I don't want to explain it in detail right now. What I'll do is I'll share that YouTube video of mine, and on this day itself I predicted the market will correct. And on 21st December, you can see, if we just go one day ahead, market corrected a lot. Now, of course, we were not able to predict the strength of the fall. हमें ये नहीं पता था कि एक ही दिन में 400 पॉइंट का करेक्शन आएगा. But what I predicted was the fall will come, and that is what happened over here. After that, I think it eventually formed a divergence at the top. You can see it formed a divergence over here. Market formed a higher high. RSI formed the lower high, and it gave a good correction from there. Price action confirmation मिल गया, it gave a good correction from there. And rest is history. But now the markets have become so choppy. So if you look at the current situation, market has already breached the 80 mark multiple times. It has now kind of become a joke. September 21 maybe it had breached, and after that over here also it's breached twice. So it's kind of become a joke now, breaching the 80 mark. That's about it.
Mala, can you look at the chart of gold and in comparison with DXY as well?
Gold में कुछ है नहीं अभी इतना.
जनरली गोल्ड एंड डॉलर ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में चलते हैं ना?
Not necessarily. Yes, it does. Commodity and those prices will go in an opposite direction because investors, if they keep money in gold, then there's no liquidity in the market. यहाँ पे देखो एक major RSI support level. Major RSI support level, but we are not getting any sort of a price action confirmation over here. Even today, the prices got sold into. So there's no major price action confirmation. So I cannot go long over here. I still have to stay neutral. Most likely it will end up being within this range. यहाँ पे range बना रहा है. This is a range. So most likely now gold will be in this given range, and prices will also be in this given range. So these all errors are happening in the current market. Unnecessary breach of the level and then false breakouts, false breakdown.